I'm Valerie Gonzalez. I'm the owner of San Gabriel Valley Law, and we protect California business owners from devastating, door-closing employee lawsuits. I took the bar, and a week later, our world shut down and went into a worldwide pandemic. And so when I got my results, we were in the middle of a pandemic and nobody was hiring. And what it caused me to do was get really, really clear about what I wanted and what was important to me. And that was autonomy and flexibility. And so I decided to start my own firm to get those things. And I did that by myself for a number of months. And I made only a minimal amount of money. Still, I made money, but it was very minimal, and I was putting in a lot of effort. And when I joined HTM, I was coming off of about 2 months of 0 leads. 0. My phone did not call, or my phone did not ring, which is terrifying. And so I was ready. I was ready for something more. I knew I needed something. But one of the first things I learned in boot camp was that my new role is not as a lawyer, it's as a business owner. And so that was so refreshing to me because I was like, I can do that part. I don't really know how to be a lawyer yet, but I can be a business owner. I can do that. When you join SLFU, you first join a boot camp that sort of gives you a huge overview of all of the things that you're going to learn, a big picture of the 7 parts of a business, which I had no idea there were 7 parts of a business. That's a lot of parts. So it's a general education. And then as you go through SLFU, you go through each one in greater detail. And you're pinpointing things that are causing your firm problems that you probably didn't even have a name for. But it's a problem that we're all having and have had at various points. And so they're pinpointing problems and then giving you creative and often low-cost, no-cost solutions to these problems, which was huge for me because I didn't have a big budget for any of that. You're also hearing from other people who are ahead of you or perhaps behind you or at the same place as you and the types of issues they're having. And it's so encouraging because you can see that they're just like you. Even if their problems are different, they're just like you. They want the same things, and where they are is where you could be or you will be eventually if you stick with it. So one of the first exercises we did, and something we continue to do, is we reverse engineer our goals. We talk about the life that we want, which is such a interesting concept because it forces you to dream, which a lot of us have a hard time doing because some of us get stuck in this grind of running a business that we forget to dream. And people, myself included, we get emotional over it because it opens your mind to the possibility of more, which is hard if you aren't allowing yourself to do that. So we imagine first the life that we want, and then we work backwards to get it. And when you start to work backwards, it's like a light bulb moment because you're seeing for the first time, perhaps for many of us, the first time that this is possible. We can do this. We can attain this. And all it takes is, 10 leads in a month, 3 retained clients in a month, or whatever the formula is for you. But that makes it so much more feasible and believable to achieving. Well, almost a year ago when I created that business plan and I created those goals and I dreamed about my life, I set goals, and it was exciting, but it was also, there was a little bit of unbelief in there that this could actually happen. And I met with my coach just a few weeks ago, and we looked at that plan together, and we looked at my summer goals, the things I set about 9 months ago, my summer goals, and I have hit every single one of them. And it blew my mind because I set those not all the way believing that I could achieve them. And so some of those goals that I set were traveling with my daughter. I wanted to travel with her. I want to include her in my business. And we've already taken 3 trips together. Another is to pay for my parents' utility bills and take them on some trips. I've taken them on 2 trips, and I pay for their utility bills. Another one is to buy myself a car. And I have the means to do that. I haven't done it only because cars are hard to find right now, but I have the means, and I will do that when I find the right car. So seeing that I set the goals and now they're coming to fruition is probably one of the most powerful things you can ever see in your life, because it shows you that what you did is working, and if you can do that, you can do it 100 times over. Meeting with a coach is so valuable because not only do they understand what you're doing in a unique way, they've done it themselves. They have learned from their experiences and mistakes. They're possibly, 5 steps ahead of you. And so they're able to see things or pitfalls or issues that you can't see yet because you're not there, and point them out and give you suggestions to navigating all of them. Everything that you're kind of experiencing, it doesn't surprise them, it doesn't shock them, it doesn't scare them as if, unlike the people in your life, it probably would. If you told your spouse or your parents or your siblings, I'm in a cash crunch, they'd probably freak out. and you may freak out, but your coach doesn't freak out. They've been in cash crunches, they know how to get through them, and they know how to coach you through them. And so meeting with someone who has that kind of confidence, not unfounded confidence from experience, knowing that you can get through this, gives you confidence as well. In Small Law Firm University, you're given a group that you start out your course with, and you meet every single week on a live Zoom call together. And then every quarter, you have a check-in with your coach, and you review your business plan and all of the goals that you've set and the condition of your business. But in between there, you have access to your coach. You check in with your numbers through the dashboard. And on the dashboard, you also say every time you enter your numbers how you're feeling. So if you ever say, like, I'm feeling really defeated right now, your coach will call you. If you ever have a big issue or question, you can reach out to your coach and they're accessible to you. So even though there are certain scheduled touch points, you can definitely deviate from that based on your need. The coaches are amazing. They have various backgrounds as far as in business and law. Most of them are lawyers who have practiced and grown multi-million-dollar law firms and sold them, and now they coach. But there's also some who have never practiced law. And you may think that is weird, or you may think, how could they teach me? Well, they can, because they've grown a business. And what you're doing is growing a business. And so it's all pretty much the same. There's still 7 parts. You have to market, you have to sell, you have to convert, all of that. And so they have a unique perspective that isn't sort of bogged down by the law. But if there is ever anything law specific, they could pull in another resource and have that answered for you as well. So it's never something that is going to keep you from achieving. It's only going to add value because it adds diversity. And that's the value of their experiences. They're all diverse. The 90-day lookbacks at LQM are so powerful. I remember the first time I heard it, I got emotional because you hear and you see the way people's lives have changed, and you can feel it. It's palpable in the room. But I also remember hearing it and thinking, well, that's because their firm is at this level. My firm's still at this level, so that's not really gonna happen for me. And I consider myself to have a pretty strong mindset, and I still had these doubts. But when I had that look back with my coach 9 months later, where we looked at our business plan, and I was able to see that the goals that I set have actually come to fruition, I realized that this is not an exclusive thing. This is not for them, but not for me. This is for anyone who's willing to work, who's willing to dream, and who's willing to try. And so if you're willing to do those things, you can have what you want. You just have to be willing to try. And I'm living proof of that. And I'm not the only one. I'm at a conference filled with people who are living proof of that. And there's no reason why you can't be one of those either. If you're on the fence about trying out Small Law Firm University, I would strongly encourage you just to do it. Stop overthinking it. Stop laboring the point in your mind. Just do it. Just make the change, because something has to change. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be interested in this. You wouldn't be looking for this. Something has to change, and what you're doing is not working. So you can either continue on the way you have been and try to change it yourself, but that's what you've been doing and it hasn't worked, or you can partner with someone who's done it before. And as lawyers, it's logical to partner with people who are subject matter experts in their field. It's what we tell our clients all the time. Choose me, hire me, pick me. Yeah, you can do it yourself, but with me, we can do it faster, better, easier, more protected, whatever your practice area is. It's no different here. Yeah, you can run your law firm, but you could probably do it faster, better, easier, more lucrative if you partner with someone who's an expert and has done it before.